Hey everybody, Cobradvs back again with another entry in the Halloween special. We're going to keep things rolling with some Ghostbusters on the Genesis. Now I think everybody fairly is pretty familiar with Ghostbusters. I mean, if you're not, get under the fucking rock you've been living under. And check out the movies. You know, there's two movies, 1 and 2. One's awesome, 2 is good, but not as good as the first. And with those movies, there's not a shortage of video games. We got 2 NES games. We have the Genesis one here. There's one on the Sega Master System. The Commodore, I believe, has one. Atari has one. The 2600. And then there's a new one on the 360 Xbox and Wii. Or the 360 PlayStation 3 and Wii. I don't know if it's on the PC. But anyway, we're going to be looking at the Genesis one. Which is probably the one that most people are not as familiar with. I'd say the most popular one's the NES one. This one's not quite as popular as that one, so maybe not too many people know about it. But it's definitely one that you're gonna probably want to check out. So basically, you're running the Ghostbusters, and as much as this is like a side scroller, it's kind of like it has the business aspect too. Like you have money. You get money by going through these missions and eliminating the ghosts. And so it's cool that it has the money feature as well as the, it's the side-scrolling shooter. I guess to compare some of the gameplay to another game, I guess it'd be, I don't want to say Contra because it's not, but it is a little bit because the side-scrolling and shooting, you can shoot up and over, basically almost in any direction you want. So it controls pretty well. Graphics are cool. The graphics are kind of like cartoony with the characters, so it's not necessarily going for the realistic look, but I think it fits the game well. Sort of the goofy atmosphere of the game and the movie, sort of the same, kind of tie in with each other. So this first level I'm in here is a hotel. And this is actually the only level I play. It's the first level, and I couldn't beat it. So unfortunately, the gameplay is gonna be just this level. And the reason I couldn't beat it is because I'm not knocking this game down too much, but it is difficult, and the controls I think sometimes don't quite suffice to how difficult the game is. It is difficult, but it doesn't have as precise of controls as it would need to warrant this difficult of a game. I don't think, but it doesn't distract too much because it's still a pretty fun game that I think if you do pick up, I don't think you'll regret it. So basically, just going through this hotel right now. But in the beginning, you actually have the choice to pick between the 3 main Ghostbusters. Now, I'm not sure why the 4th Ghostbuster, Harold Ramis, I think is his real name, isn't in the game. But I think he might come in later, which would tie in with the movie because he's not one of the original Ghostbusters. So I guess that would make sense that he's not one of the main playable characters in the beginning. I'm sure he probably comes along later. If anybody knows, go ahead and comment and let me know because I have not gotten far enough to know. So yeah, I mean, let's just break it down. Good things about the game. It's fun. It's got some pretty good controls. The graphics are nice. It's got an interesting Ghostbusters theme in the beginning, but it's not bad. It's just, Genesis-y. Controls well, everything like that. It's got your standard good things. And for a movie tie-in game, this is really good, to be honest with you. Oh, and by the way, that coffee cup is damn near indestructible. Anyway, so those are the good things. Some of the bad things, it's a little difficult, and I know difficulty is definitely what you want in a game, but this one almost pushes it a little far for being a Ghostbusters game. You wouldn't expect it to be terribly difficult, but it kind of is. And it doesn't control quite precisely enough to be this difficult and still be kind of fair. Sometimes it feels cheap. But basically, that's my only complaint. It's a little difficult at times. So other than that, it's a pretty fun game. So here I'm at the end of the hotel level. I'm not at the end, but I'm sort of in the middle. and it pops up that says I have an encounter, and a boss type ghost comes in. You have to defeat him. Now this one in particular wasn't too tough because all you have to do is shoot it when this red devil thing pops out. But when his body comes over like this, you just avoid it. It's not hard. So this boss isn't terrible, but it can corner you in the side like that, and that makes it a lot more difficult to not get hit. But it's a little time and a little patience, and you can actually plow through this boss. Not terribly difficult, but when it splits in two like this, it gets a lot harder because all of a sudden you got to avoid 2 enemies and 2 projectiles. So it gets a little tough. Now it's okay because you do get 10 continues and 3 lives per continue. So it's not too bad. In that, it's pretty fair, I guess, in that regard. So overall, Ghostbusters on the Genesis is one I'd recommend picking up, no problem. Get ready for some tough gameplay, though, because it's not easy. But it is fun with the thrown-in business aspect and the cool graphics. It's definitely a Genesis game that's superior to the Nintendo version. So, yeah, definitely recommend this one over the NES version or any other version that I've played. Now, I haven't played the 360, the current one, but I really, really want to. And unfortunately, I don't have it, so I cannot include it in my Halloween special. However, I will leave you with this little cliffhanger. The rest of the Halloween specials are going to be sort of subdivided into their own group. They're going to all be separate, focusing on one thing, whereas these have all been spread out with different games. These all ones are going to be different games and movies, but they'll all be tied in, and you'll see tomorrow. So that's it for me, guys. Yep, pick up this Genesis game if you ever have the chance, and until tomorrow, take care.
Something strange in your neighborhood.